It was meant to bring Tasmania's forestry debate closer to resolution, but the bitterness and mudslinging following the release of Jonathan West's review appears to be as rampant as ever. Amongst the 2,000-page report are suggestions the future of the industry lies in engineered wood and other value-added products. While the popularity of engineered wood is on the rise, as Fiona Breen found out, the uncertainty strangling the rest of the industry is having a negative impact on it as well, and for now, investment is on hold.
Nestled in the hills of Canberra, a new building is slowly taking shape. The roof of the Visitors Centre at the new National Arboretum has a striking design. The huge engineered timber beams are imported from Tasmania.
Okay, the whole process is called laminated timber or laminating timber. So we can make laminated beams in any sort of species and in a mixture of species like this. And we have a few products which we call hybrid, just like this, which are a mixture of different species that allow us to get the best of both worlds.
There are 10 main arches, 8 are Tasmanian oak and 2 are a hybrid of cypress and plantation pine. There's also about 500 hybrid rafters with pine cores and hardwood outer laminations. They've been put together at a timber engineering plant in Hobart. It's these types of products that Jonathan West predicts will be the future of the forest industry.
It's necessarily a manufactured products industry. It's pulp and paper, it's potentially ethanol and fuel production, it's reconstituted products, it's laminated beams. There's a lot that we can do with that resource.
Scientists at the Cooperative Research Centre for Forestry agree Tasmania should target manufactured products.
If we look within Australia, we're looking to house another 7 million people between now and 2050. That's going to need something like 64 million cubic metres of wood. And engineered wood products, laminated veneer lumber and cross-laminated timber are really an excellent way to go in terms of providing cost-effective housing.
In the Northern Hemisphere, the appetite for engineered wood is already on the rise. It can replace steel girders, and all from a renewable resource.
It's an example of a building in London. It's a 9-storey building, a residential building created entirely out of cross-laminated timber. It took 5 people 9 weeks to erect it, so it's very, very quick to put up. It's a prefabricated construction technique, and is certainly through Europe and North America lots of use of that technology now. And I think we really have an opportunity to get in on that ground floor, that space, with the resources we have in Tasmania.
Despite the demand, even these products have their difficulties in the current climate.
9453.
Chris Ward says the products that really give his company a competitive advantage over cheap imports are the hybrids, using both plantation pine and native hardwoods.
The native timber helps give us an edge because it actually adds to our armoury of products. We find that our competitive advantage is being able to offer a suite of engineered wood products. And that suite has to be as comprehensive as we can make it in order to be able to maintain our market share.
His supply of native timber comes from local sawmillers, but he's finding it harder and harder to source. So hard, it's got him worried.
Some of our products that rely on some hardwood, and these are products that are import replacement products, we're looking at losing those and losing quite a lot of our company's asset base just by losing that product, because unless we can find a supply line.
So how real is that prospect, do you think?
We're not terribly confident about it. We're really working on it.
Timber from hardwood plantations isn't suitable, although scientists say they're working on it.
Anything that's grown over a longer period of time and a bit slower and a bit larger is going to have superior characteristics in terms of strength and stiffness. And these are the sorts of developments that we need to look at and need to do further investigation on how we'd actually manage to do that.
In the meantime, Chris Ward is looking to invest in cross-laminated timber. Engineer Jim Gandy says more and more architects and builders are requesting it.
It's a very versatile material and easier to stick together than concrete because you can screw it and saw it and do all the things you can do with timber. And early indications are that it can be made for a comparative cost of concrete. And if it can do that, it's got to have a niche.
Plans for 2 new presses are in the pipeline.
The smaller one will be purely CLT, the larger press will do CLT or beams, big beams, like the ones that we made for Canberra. And so it will improve our capacity all round. But that investment's only going to happen if we can resolve our future timber supply.
Jonathan West described the industry as uninvestable, without some certainty. Chris Ward hopes that turns around.
We haven't got our plans on hold. We're still working on it. We're doing our designs and formulating those, everything up to the point of seeking funds. But yes, we wouldn't go looking for funding for a lot of our investment just now.
So you really need some sort of resolution?
Well, everyone does, yes.